Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at Space Hulk Ascension Edition, a turn-based strategy game based on the fairly old Space Hulk spin-off board game of Warhammer 40k, released originally back in like 1989, I believe. Now, about a year ago, there was another Space Hulk game released by the same developer, which didn't do too well because, from what I understand, a lot of people weren't entirely pleased by the fact that it seemed to be just a one-to-one digital copy of the board game without any sort of gamification, I guess. They didn't really put a lot of flair into it to make it more of a video game. It was just, hey, you remember that board game you liked? Now you can play it on a computer against a computer. I believe there's also a very old Space Hulk game that is pretty much the same thing. This, on the other hand, is them retooling that original release to make it more of a game, I guess, adding stuff like RPG progression, and a general overall sort of touching it up to make it more video gamey, I guess. So I've already played through the tutorial missions, or the tutorial campaign, I guess, so I have a fair idea of how this goes, but let us... I think it would be new game, because if you continue, it will just load the "you're done" the tutorial screen from the tutorial. Alright, we got 3 Space Marine chapters here to choose from. Surprisingly, no Dark Angels, which, if I remember, were actually created for Space Hulk originally. I don't know if the Ultramarines were ever involved with any Space Hulk stuff. They're kind of boring, because they're the pretty much standard Space Marine chapter. So let's go with... I was going to say the Space Wolves, because they're kind of weird. But they have a melee focus, and melee focus does not seem like it would be great in this. You know, let's just go with the Blood Angels. They're the kind of best all around, it seems. Go with normal, because this game's actually fairly challenging from what I've played of it so far. It's kind of weird that it's like, hey, pick a faction, and then pick a campaign, which it seems like each one of them is built for a faction. So I guess we can play any of them with any faction. Well, let's go with the Sin of Damnation, the Blood Angels apparent campaign. Alright, they sworn revenge against this giant mass of metal and rock and aliens. Alright, Beachhead. Alright, so this seems to be the same as the first Ultramarine campaign, which I tried to play and failed. Though it looks like we get both squads. I guess some missions you only get access to one squad, and some you get access to both, meaning you can deploy all of the people from your squad if you want, from both squads. You can see they each have classes, something that the original Space Hulk game did not have. We've got a sergeant here, a heavy weapons, 2 ranged and 1 melee.
Sergeant of the squad, accept your orders.
So we just have to kill all the Gene Stealers. Of which there is 85, wow.
Ready as commanded.
Alright, so we have 2 deployment zones. We're probably going to want to use both of them, because I've found that if you don't, you'll get swamped. And one of them is probably better than the other. Let's put our sergeant down front.
Box received, Commander.
There's actually a reason that I don't want to put the heavy out front. So we're gonna put him back here.
Awaiting your command. Squad deployed. Awaiting your command.
Put them all there. I think that's good. We can actually deploy these guys later on if we need to. You can pretty much deploy more Terminators if you have them in reserve in any turn. So don't make the mistake of hitting end turn after deploying these guys, as you can actually move them immediately. Alright, so those not familiar with Space Hulk, conceptually, essentially it is a game of Space Marine Terminators, which are essentially elite, heavier armored versions of an already superhuman faction, against Gene Stealers, a division of the Tyranids, though when the game was originally released, they were not part of the Tyranids, the all-consuming space alien race. And it's sort of chess-like, really. Neither your Gene Stealers nor these Space Marines really have an advantage against the other. Space Marines can shoot, Gene Stealers are melee only, but a Gene Stealer will usually kill your Space Marine in a single hit when it gets close enough. So really that extra armor doesn't really seem to help them that much. Also some similarities with XCOM sort of in the concept. There's a lot of putting your guys on Overwatch here and letting them gun down waves of Gene Stealers as they run at you. Unlike XCOM, putting your guys in Overwatch will allow them to continuously fire at targets on the enemy turn. Alright, so we've got AP. You can see everybody's AP down here. Pretty much everything uses AP, including just turning your facing, because turning your facing is actually fairly important. Alright, let's move him up to here. You can see sort of our perception radius. You will get an idea of where Gene Stealers are. There'll be little red blips near you, so they'll never completely surprise you, unless you happen to walk up next to a spawn point without noticing.
The enemy will fall before me.
Alright, you guys are good. There's a door there and an empty space here, so I want to put somebody like that. He doesn't have enough AP for that. Shit, I shouldn't have put him up front. Alright, you're gonna stand there, face the door, and shit, I still don't have enough for Overwatch, alright. You're gonna stand there and face the door and hope nothing comes through it and kills you, I guess. Like that. Also, just like your Space Marines, Gene Stealers can attack multiple times in your turn. So if you fuck up your positioning, and have like 3 guys in a line, that one Gene Stealer could potentially cut through all 3 of them in a single turn, which is not too great.
Securing area. Beware the alien.
Alright, so now there are some Gene Stealers close to us, a bunch of them in that room, which means they're going to be coming out of that door and this door. Let's get some folks in position to gun them down. I don't want to put this guy facing this door because I don't know what's over here yet. Actually, let's send you... shit, there's another turn here. Alright, I can send him 3, and he'll still have enough AP to Overwatch. So let's do that.
My aim is true.
Because these guys are going to come at us like a tide.
My aim is true. Moving.
I do like that you can queue up multiple movements at once. You don't have to wait until one guy's done moving to start moving your other guy. And they don't block each other in that way. Though, of course, you cannot move your guys past each other because of their big, bulky armor in these tight corridors, which is kind of one of the key design decisions of Space Hulk. Alright, they're watching both directions. You can't really do anything, so you're just going to walk up behind him. And put him in Overwatch 2, so if this guy dies in front of him, he'll still be able to maybe get a shot off. is that everybody set in place? Except for you. Yeah, so we'll move him up.
Yes, my lord.
So any sort of movement or shooting or anything will disrupt your Overwatch. However, one mistake that I made earlier that the game does not really clarify is that reloading your gun or cooling it down, because it will accrue heat as you fire, does not take you out of Overwatch. So if you reload and then hit Overwatch thinking that you had to reset it, your guy will just stand there and let himself get torn apart.
Securing area.
Alright, they are coming. Nothing from this side yet. I noticed the Gene Stealer number is going down, but that might be just because it's only counting stuff that isn't in play yet. I really don't want to send him into this area because I can't tell how big it is.
Clear a path.
You can see rooms sort of light up as you get into them. Alright, so this is just a big room. We could actually kind of line our guys up here if we wanted to get a lot of shots in. I like the little first-person cam for
Stay alert, brothers.
selected guy. Okay, you are hopefully going to kill these things before they kill you.
Holding position.
Got a nice firing zone here. Thankfully, our guys cannot shoot each other, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm actually going to move him up.
Stay alert, brothers.
Cover that side. You can back up. You can spend double AP to actually walk backwards without having to change your facing.
Watching for enemy contact.
Alright, I'm looking good over there. Over here, I guess I don't need him standing there anymore, so let's face this way.
Overwatch.
You can see it's a lot slower paced than something like XCOM Enemy Unknown. Alright, we got more guys coming from up here.
Affirmative.
That's
Yes,
another way
Commander.
where it feels a bit more like a chess game than a straight up dash in there, shoot the aliens, hope they don't kill your guys. You really gotta wait for them to come to you.
Hostile targets ahead. Xenos contact spotted. Xenos contact spotted. My bolter has failed me. We live and die, brothers.
So, one of them had their gun jam from firing too much. Essentially, instead of the old Space Hulk system of rolling a die and, you know, potentially rolling a jam even on your first shot, this instead just has you build up heat as you fire without doing anything else. Anything else you do, like moving or reloading or anything, will reduce some of your heat as long as you're not just shooting. But there's also a cooldown option which will take half the heat off your gun. So he got gunned down, well, not gunned down, he got cut down because he missed, which is a thing that can happen, unfortunately.
Weapon operational.
Why are you so bad at shooting? Jesus. Alright, you're gonna take up the slack. Only a 50% chance to hit. Alright, so let's take him out of Overwatch, bring him up to his full AP, and let's take an aimed shot.
Cleanse and burn.
Alright, and then put him
The
in
enemy
Overwatch.
will fall before me.
Everyone else who hasn't fired is still in Overwatch, though it looks like we cleared that little batch out up there. So, you've still got 3 AP. We're just going to set him to
Obstruction removed.
cool down and then leave him in Overwatch. What's the situation over here? Still only 1.
Going into Overwatch. Yes, my lord. My aim is true.
So a lot of the other missions I had to do in the tutorials was a lot of get to this point, turn on this thing, or get to this room and douse it with flames to clear out an infestation. But this seems a lot more stationary, I guess. We don't really have to go find the gene stealers, since they will eventually come to us. Alright. I say that, but maybe they won't actually spawn in until we get near more spawn points.
Flank secured.
We do also have the option to deploy a servo skull scanner, which is essentially a stationary deployable in the world, but it has a much bigger scan radius than our Terminators do. So we can move into an area and drop one of those down, and it will kind of keep track on that area, even when we leave. Alright, we're looking good.
Affirmative.
Now, it said that he would only have 1 AP left, but that's because it doesn't actually count you coming out of Overwatch.
Stay alert, brothers.
Because you get that 2 back as soon as you do anything on that turn. Alright, everybody's moved up except our flame guy. We're going to send him up behind this guy. He's going to be covering him. Since he can't, with a heavy weapon, you can't go into Overwatch, so they're not actually that useful for, you know, leading the way. They're better for clearing out a group that you are coming up on.
Hostile targets ahead. Xenos contact spotted.
Well, surprisingly, he missed there, but the Gene Stealer did not have enough AP left to actually get a swing in, so he's got a chance to save himself here.
A righteous kill.
Alrighty, so he's still got 2 AP. We're gonna have him just take a step back.
Watching for enemy contact. They come.
Also, you can move diagonally like that, even though it doesn't really make sense that he moved diagonally, without changing your facing. Alright, there are more of them coming. So what we're going to do is we're going to reload his gun, put him back into Overwatch. He should be good.
The enemy will fall before me.
Alright, you guys are all looking good? Looking good.
Contacts.
Alright, that's a small chunk of them dealt with. There doesn't really seem to be a faster way to do this, though. I mean, we don't really have any sort of weapon of mass gene stealer destruction. Since this is the first mission, I'm not too worried about any of these guys
Stay alert, brothers.
dying off and not, you know, gaining experience. As long as some of them survive, I think they'll be alright. You're good, you're good. Nothing gonna come up behind them. Let's send him further up. Alright, this room's, again, not as big as I thought it was.
The enemy will fall before me. Advance, brothers. Flank secured.
Don't know why he can't just sidestep there, but whatever. And turn.
We have contact. The machine spirits have answered my prayers.
why are you so bad at shooting? Alright.
Weapon at the ready.
We're gonna put him in Overwatch and hope he doesn't miss when it runs at him. It looks like there's only one back there for now, so we should be alright.
The machine spirits have answered my prayers. Overwatch.
I don't think you really need to know a huge amount about Warhammer 40k to really enjoy this game. I think it's pretty much anyone who enjoys a turn-based, squad-based tactical game will probably enjoy this.
Stay alert, brothers. Bolter malfunction. Clear to fire. Resuming fire.
As long as you keep all their guns going good, you shouldn't really need to worry about micromanaging them from turn to turn. Like, because we're not actually going for a specific objective, I'm not really too concerned if we don't make a lot of forward progress.
Clear a path. Going into Overwatch. Overwatch.
But I'm kind of hoping I can get more Gene Stealers to spawn in different spots, so we can kind of clear them out faster. Because while this is a good bottleneck for killing them...
Let them fall before us.
Wow, he actually saved himself. So, there is a chance in any melee fight that the person attacking isn't necessarily going to win. Usually a Gene Stealer will win over a Terminator, though, even if you attack them in melee combat. Apparently somebody died. Did I not catch that? He's alive. They're alive. Oh, no, wait, that was the guy that died at the beginning. But, yeah, I don't know why he didn't... Oh, you know what? I just did that thing that I told myself not to do earlier. I reloaded his gun and cooled down his weapon and hit Overwatch again. So, good thing he got lucky and managed to save himself.
Advance, brothers. Overwatch.
You're doing alright. You're doing alright.
Obstruction removed.
Might as well. Alright, so there's going to be a Gene Stealer coming out of here. How many AP does this guy have? He has... Wow, he has 6. Alright, so he can move up here.
Taking position.
Oh, that was probably a bad idea, because there's 2 doors and I can only watch one of them. So I'm going to hope that this Gene Stealer cannot run all the way down here and kill him.
Watching for enemy contact.
Actually, if I can...
We have contact.
I could just spray a good gout of flame down there to, you know, keep them from running through that door. I was hoping I would actually spray it down this way to save this guy from himself. Oh, damn it, I keep doing that. Actually, it's only 1 AP. Let's rotate. Shoot a cone of fire down here as a safety measure. And then end turn.
They approach.
Alright, so it didn't even come out that way, but this one's still coming up. flamer guy. I'm gonna send you this way.
Securing position.
A little worried about this door, but it looks like nothing is gonna jump on me just yet.
Advance, brothers. Going into Overwatch.
Alright, how's the sergeant doing up here? Looks like nothing's killed him yet. Another door.
Watching for enemy contact.
So you can definitely see that this is a very aliens-inspired sort of thing. The original board game itself was apparently very aliens-inspired, or alien-inspired, I guess. With these dark, cramped corridors full of horrible aliens. Even the Gene Stealer design was changed a bit to be more sort of xenomorphy.
My weapon is jammed.
Well, that's not good.
Obstruction removed. Affirmative.
I almost did it again. This looks like a bulkhead door? I really need to get a guy just in this room to, so I don't have to worry about them running in all these different directions. Also, they seem to randomly do that sometimes when you turn without them still being in Overwatch. They'll just start
Overwatch
firing
protocol initiated.
when they see a xenomorph. A Gene Stealer. Alright. Everybody else good. Gun's not jammed anymore.
Beware the alien.
I will say this is maybe not the most exciting mission objective to get as our first mission. In fact, I might just skip ahead a bit, since we still got quite a few Gene Stealers to wear down. And it doesn't look like anything catastrophic is going to happen in that time. Because I'd like to actually get to the progression screen before we end this.
Weapon functional. My aim is true.
So let's see if we can skip a few turns. Thin down these numbers. Alright, we're really getting down to it now. We've only got 6. You can see I haven't moved up too much. Here's kind of that main room they were coming out of before. Because, well, right here, these are 2 spawn points. They're basically vents that they're coming out of. If I move my guy into that circle, it will block them from spawning there. But then I realized that why would I want to do that when my objective is to kill them? So I just have him sitting out here and gunning them down as they come out. In most missions, you'd want to block those off to keep Gene Stealers from spawning right behind your guys or something. But because this is just to kill them all, it's better to just let them spawn in.
They are close, brothers.
Definitely a very lackluster first mission compared to the other one I tried to do. I mean, it's a lot easier because
Obstruction removed.
I was failing those ones fairly quickly. But it's also very simple, plain. Especially with the sheer number of Gene Stealers we had to kill. It was basically just sit here, make sure my guys have ammo, wait it out. See all of our experience bars here. got one new reinforcement, I guess, to replace the guy that died. You can also rename your squad if you want to, you know, sort of XCOM, name them all after people. Maybe name them all after the Colonial Marines from Aliens. Alright, looks like we got some branching missions here too. But let's level up this... the only guy that got enough experience to level up. Unlocked skill, Blade Master. Okay, so we got our loadout. Now you can see you basically just unlock better weapons at certain levels if your guy can survive that long. And because we leveled up, we can use a power sword now. Makes him a little better at melee. A little more likely to not horribly die. We've got skills, though I think... yeah, okay, these are basically just like perks you slot in, and you get more slots as you level up. So what is his current one? Just better at shooting with bolters. And it looks like most of these are not unlocked. Better with swords. Less heat. And sustain bonus. Alright. You can change their appearance, though it's just, you know... again, like XCOM Enemy Unknown, there's just a lot of little minor armor changes and stuff. There's no, like, real customization. You know, you can have a guy with his face out or wearing a helmet. Then we've got our attributes, which are your main skills that are actually getting better. You got your ballistic skill, how well you shoot, agility, how many AP you got, and I think how fast you can move. Also, Space Marines sped, according to that. Willpower, which is... okay, it's pretty much just how well you are affected by psychic attacks from Broodlords, so I guess there are more than just basic gene stealers in this. I know they have different mutations, which they didn't in the old version of Space Hulk. You know, now they can come with different Tyranid upgrades. What else? Toughness. Alright, sometimes he might not take damage from a successful hit, so he might survive. And perception, how well he can detect stuff. So, this is our sergeant. Let's make him a little bit better at shooting. I thought we had 4 points, but apparently... maybe it's because it was a higher point, or a higher skill. Cost more points. But, yeah, I guess we put 1 point into shooting. And equipment. Looks like we have nothing else unlocked. I'm gonna guess Teleport Homer probably lets you create a new spawn point for dropping in more guys. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for Space Hulk. I don't think there's any multiplayer in this. You know, no, option for someone to control the Gene Stealers. Which is a shame, because it is originally a 2-player board game. Yeah, just a tutorial in your campaigns. You can open up the manual. So that's Space Hulk Ascension. It doesn't seem bad. It's maybe a little slow-paced if you're used to something like XCOM. Again, new XCOM, not old XCOM. But I think there's definitely something for this game. I like the Warhammer 40k setting. I know a lot of people are kind of turned off by it. But if you're not one of those people, then maybe give this a shot. This is going for about $30 on Steam, which is not a terrible price for this, but maybe a little shitty that they're charging $30 for this after charging $30 for the original release of Space Hulk a year ago, and then just dumping this out and saying, hey, we fixed some of the problems, but you're going to have to buy it again. Sorry about that. People who own the original Space Hulk get a little bit of a discount, but still not that much. I think it only bumps it down to like $24-25. So, maybe shitty if you bought the original version of this and were disappointed. But if you're just getting into this now, then yeah, I'd say give this a go if it seems like your sort of thing. I've been Shadefire, this is Space Hulk Ascension Edition, and I will see you again some other time. Until then, you folks take care.